and I love Molly's flute.
I am the eyes and ears of this institution.
Mama don't like tattletales.
Who knows? In 1,000 years, even you may be worth something.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Room for one more, honey.
Today we face the monsters that are at our door.
I think we live in overstimulated times.
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. This is going to be so exciting. I am so excited to have you here, Lux. Okay, let me introduce Lux, and then you tell me what I missed. You are an ordained minister, you are a priestess, and you are an apparition advocate, and you do tarot. And I found you on the internet, and I'm just already just so impressed with you. What did I miss?
Well, I'm glad to know you're impressed already, because that's pretty much it. To be clear, I read tarot, but I'm not a professional reader. It's something I've been doing. I'm 44. I started about 30 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Give or take. And I work with a variety of decks for a variety of reasons. Most of the time when I read, it's just because people ask me to. And, in this case, when you were kind of asking the interwebs, like, for help, I just felt moved to reach out. I didn't know that you had a podcast or anything. And with that being said, like, I've read here and there for events and whatnot, but I'd say for this purposes of this podcast, I've probably got more experience working with haunted houses than I do as a professional quote unquote reader.
Okay, well, this is going to be like super different for me. Because as you know, I'm a little bit of a skeptic, but there's been enough things that have happened that I'm like, there has to be some kind of explanation. There's like more that I didn't admit that I've missed. And so I'm just like, I'm so excited. Also, because I haven't told you anything, nothing about the house, nothing about how old it is, the history, who I bought it from, like nothing. You don't know anything. You just know that I'm a little skeeved out and friends are sending me for answers. Will there be any ghost footage tonight and or interview with the ghost? Like, we don't know. There could be 1,000 ghosts in here, or there could be none. It could just be me tripping myself out. So the chat is already making fun of us. Now, if you're on Rumble, this might be the best night of emojis that I've ever had before. It's full of ghosts and protection and ghouls and all kinds of people. Like, it's really good. So make sure you abuse the emotes in the chat. And hi, Matt, over on Pilled. Thank you for the cookie. You'll have to remind me. I'll make a little note for myself to release the cookies at the end of the stream. Cookies. Thank you, Matt. Yes, paranormal. I'm so excited to have Lux. Okay, so basically, like, give me a rundown of like, what is tarot and like, how does it work?
So basically, when we talk about tarot, we're talking about a pack of cards that emerged somewhere in Europe in the early Middle Ages, and people have been using it for divination basically the whole time. If you really want to get academic about it, there is kind of a debate about where it came from. Did it come from a game? Did the game come from the divination? The earliest known decks, I think, are that are talked about a lot are European decks, but I have a personal theory that the original cards were the round cards that came out of sort of the, I don't know if you want to call it the Middle Ages or maybe even earlier than that, whatever period comes before that, in India. There were some round cards, and I'm not a tarot expert by any means. Those are just kind of some things that have, come to me over the years, basically when I'm poking around. So modern tarot, as we know it, has 4 different suits, just like you would expect in a deck of cards that you'd be playing poker with. Instead of the standard suits, though, you've got, well, depends on the deck. The standard deck is going to give you the pentacles, which look like that. They're going to give you the cups, just like that. Here's the swords. They look like that. Let's see if I can quickly find a wand. Here's a wand. They look like this. So
I don't know anything about what those mean, but I would be afraid to get a sword.
You shouldn't be afraid of anything, because in life, we all go through some shit. We all go through some sparkle,
Until I tell you about my week.
Yeah, the tarot can be, I think that different decks have different voices. But before we go into that, in addition to these 4 suits, we also have what we call the major arcana. And the major arcana are the ones that you see like posters of at Home Goods. They're the moon, they're the sun, different guys riding horses, women on thrones, stuff like that. So there's all kinds of different human archetypes. And it's my opinion that pretty much all of the archetypes that people go through are shown in the cards. So whether or not that's true just depends on who you ask. But I think the more broad the cards are, the more broadly interpreted the cards are, the better you can read for just about anybody in any point of life.
So is it like psychic mediumship, or could like a layman like myself like learn to read tarot, or is there like intuition and stuff that like a layman wouldn't be able to get?
It is my opinion that anyone who wants to use divination in their daily lives can do so. I don't think that I have any special gift that anyone else doesn't have. Now, maybe I had the drive earlier on to get to know the cards, but I think that people have a lot more information available to them than our society usually is willing to discuss or agree with or honor or whatever you want to say. So I think that almost anybody in the world at one point has had some kind of instinct. And I think instincts are very close to divination. The more we find out about quantum physics and the way that information can be relayed between entangled particles, basically simultaneously, as one particle achieves information, the other one knows it as well. Science just would suggest that a lot of the stuff that we would call woo-woo or mumbo-jumbo is actually just the science we haven't figured out yet. So as with absolutely anything in life, the more you do it, of course, the better you'll get. So can anyone do this? Yes. Could you sit down for the first time and read tarot the way I'm going to read you tonight? No, but that doesn't mean it's going to be even less powerful. I think there are meanings to the cards, intrinsic meanings, but that doesn't necessarily mean that every single card means the same thing in every single reading. Mm-hmm. And a friend of mine read for me the other day, and she shared some meanings with me that I had never considered before and that were very insightful. And so in that sense, you can also think of the tarot as kind of like a deck of meditations, of being in different places in your life and what you might learn from that or what you might have to be careful of.
So then it's not just straight, this card means that. There is some sort of intuition.
And it's kind of like, it's almost like looking at letters. The letter A means one thing when it's alone, but it means something very different if it's in a word. And, there's also things that A signifies, like if you see it in a church, you see Alpha and Omega, that means something very different than the letter A when it's the middle initial on a billboard for a lawyer or something. So, there's different things that the tarot can mean in combination with themselves. And then there are times when I look at a card and I get a story that has nothing to do with the card, and that story is specifically, or a message that's for the person that we're reading for.
Do you ever disagree with what the cards say?
Mostly just when it gives me advice that I don't want to take.
So then how does that work with, we're all inherently biased? How does that work? How do you minimize your bias when you're reading? Like if I was dating some like shitty guy and you wanted me to dump him, is that going to affect your reading that you give me? Like, oh yeah, he's bad for you. Look, I got this card.
I try not to. I don't know you very well, but if you were dating someone shitty, I wouldn't wait for the cards to tell you I thought they were shitty,
Neither would I.
But that being said, the more I know about a situation, the more difficult it is to read without me trying to read into the reading. And that's one of the reasons I asked you not to share anything about your house, because I don't want to make up stories about what I see. And it's actually quite hard for me. I am kind of a skeptic, although after what I've been saying, it's probably hard to believe. It's hard for me sometimes to read. If you're like, oh, I'm in this great relationship with this great guy, and then I read and I'm like, I don't see that. I'm going to try to in my mind, be like, okay, but what if it is great? What if it's great? So I prefer not to know, and that actually is corroborated by some of the remote viewing specialists that I've listened to. There's a guy that was a remote viewer for the Army for 60 years or something. And he's got an interview up on YouTube that he says the exact same thing. He says, the second that you try to remote view and they tell you what you're looking at, you're fucked. So,
oh shit.
Yeah. So okay. I just find that it's better. The hardest person for me to read for is me. The next hardest would be my partner, or us to read about our partnership together. It's just hard. It's hard to, it's hard to read that neutrally. And the less I know you, the better. And the best readings I've ever given are definitely the ones I've given to strangers.
Yeah, because I would imagine if you're giving advice to somebody that you know, well, actually, I don't know. Do you ever get pushback from who you're reading where they're like, no, absolutely not. This is the opposite.
I don't know that I've ever evoked such a visceral response that someone wanted to tell me that.
I'm not going to be an asshole. I'm totally open, Lux.
I also know that I'll give you an example of one time that I really rolled my eyes and followed the cards, and it worked. It worked out. I was going to buy a Jeep, and I've got a sedan, but it's not a very cool car. You know what I mean? And I was like, I want a Jeep. I'm moving out to a more rural, rustic area, and I was like, I'm going to buy a Jeep. And the cards were like, don't do it. And I was like, oh, is the Jeep I'm looking at bad? And they were like, no, but don't do it. And I was like, well, what about this other Jeep? That's a good deal too. And they were like, don't do it. And I was like, can I buy any Jeep? And they were like, no. And I was like, oh, I just have to have the car I have? And they were like, mm-hmm. Oh. And I was like, well, all right. But then when I got to where I was going, I ended up using the money that I would have spent on this Jeep as part of the down payment of this house. And so now I've got my dream house instead. And that was one time when I really didn't want to take the card's advice. And I was just kind of like, well, I asked you, so I'm going to do it. But I really didn't want that message. And I was really annoyed, but it ended up for the best. So, as far as just being dead ass wrong about something, I'm sure it's happened, but I don't necessarily read for the people that are going to tell me. I don't necessarily even ever see him again.
Mm-hmm. Wow. It's just so fascinating. We got new people over on YouTube. Hello and welcome. Very exciting. Drum Zombie, I am not reading that out loud. You are going to get an emote here. Let's see. I pick this one. That's for you, Drum Zombie. And somewhere up there, I saw Red Bike. Hello. Okay, so most people think of tarot reading as reading a person. But tonight we're going to read my house because of some things that have gone on here that we'll talk about after the reading. So how is it different to read a house versus me?
It's not.
Okay.
It's not any different. I think people can read for all kinds of stuff. I've read for pets, relatives, living and dead. You can read for a situation, for buying a car, like I was just saying, like you can read for whatever you want.
Okay.
And I can't tell you I know where these messages come from, but I do know that they seem to be for the greatest good. And so even though I can't promise you, like there's always that question, like, what if it's a demon? And I'm like, then that demon's a really nice guy. Because I've never, like my life has turned out great and I've had this going for years. And I'm always moved to do it to help people,
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that I don't really like accepting money for it, because I don't want to bring in any energy except that to like an advocate for goodness. So it's not different. And I think you can read for all kinds of stuff. I think you can read for all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because like I know just a little bit more about the house than you do, but I haven't been here for very long. So I'm excited to learn more about it. Yeah, I just think this is going to be crazy. But also, I do have to be fully transparent. I was totally the one that moved the Ouija board planchette when we were in 4th grade having sleepovers, because it wasn't going anywhere, Lux. And I was like, let's kick this party up to the next level. And I made it say all kinds of stuff and never told those girls. So.
And maybe it's the ghost of one of those girls that's like, let me show you something.
I am going to be eating a million cough drops during this because I cannot shake this cough, you guys. Okay. So like death happens all the time. Do you think most houses are haunted, or because I don't know that I've ever had anything like this ever happen to me before?
I think that a lot of places have energy that we wouldn't necessarily recognize in our day-to-day lives. But many times those energies are either very weak or benign, or you're passing through a place. So even if there is something that happens that would be considered like paranormal, you might not even realize it. I do think that older things that we tend to encounter nowadays seem to have more of a proclivity for being kind of attached to the other side or attached to some other realm. But I kind of think it's kind of like a chicken or the egg debate, but I really think that sometimes physical objects survive because they have that energy instead of like, a coincidence, like, oh yeah, there's old haunted stuff here or whatever,
That's
so
where I'm doomed, because I have like all old stuff and taxidermy, and like I'm probably bringing a lot of energy in.
Well, and that's okay. Like, I don't think most energy on the other side really, honestly, I don't think most of it gives two shits about us. I really don't. I think there's a lot of different dimensions and a lot of different like realities. And I don't think most of them are, I just don't think they care. That we're not really relevant to them. It's sort of like being like, I keep reading the cats in my alley, Shakespeare, but it seems like they don't really get it. Like, why would they get it? So our reality, other realities, who knows, what they experience or what that is, or, I would never claim that. So when you're talking about haunted stuff, old stuff being haunted, also moving stuff in general seems to like disturb spirits. And I think a lot of the time, if something just like clings to something, like if some energy just clings to a thing and you move it around, it might kind of like realize that it doesn't belong there and go. It seems to me like a lot of spirits have to do with unresolved issues. So if you have a haunted stuffed fox, just as an example, that might be because the person that shot that fox was so attached to that day that it happened or what that represented to them that they're not ready to cross over or move on. Again, what does crossover mean? Shit, I don't know.
Circle of One in the chat says, do you think some of the ghosts out there are more like energy echoes than entities?
100%. Yeah. And I think almost like impressions, the way like if you walk across carpeting a lot in one direction, you'll kind of get that path in the carpet, I think it can be just like that. Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's other stuff that is not, I mean, even more ephemeral that will affect us, but we'll never really understand exactly what it was or why. And it probably doesn't, I mean, it has its patterns and its stories too. And we might be able to perceive a little bit of the pattern, but that doesn't mean that it's anything that we could even fit into our reality,
Yeah, you always hear that, like, I guess it's like always like some Victorian child giggling in their nightgown walking the hallways when you sleep. Like there's
I mean, I don't usually hear that, but
that's like that's what everybody says.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, it makes sense.
Like a disco guy, like, walking in his wingtips and dancing or anything.
Well, I disagree with that. I think that it's easier to overlook things that are more familiar to us. And I think it's harder to identify modern paranormals because they're close, they don't stand out to us. And like if you're going down a street in New Orleans, for example, and you see a disco guy at a window, you're just going to be like, oh, haha, must be a disco party tonight. But if you see like a Victorian guy at a window and you're like, wait a minute, what? And then you're like, oh my God, he's see-through. Like, I always think, when I'm in an old city, especially, I always think, man, this place could be full of ghosts. How would I know? Like that guy, that lady walking down the street that looks like she's from the 80s. I mean, what am I going to do? Go poke her, So.
But if you're in your house, there better not be a disco dude walking up my stairs, or we're going to find out how hollow he is.
Full-bodied apparitions are pretty rare. I mean, I think along the lines of what we experienced when we were on this chat the other night would have been a really good example of something that, like, did your light just flicker when we were talking about queuing up who was there or not? And would it have flickered anyway? Or, stuff like that. I don't know, but yeah. Full-bodied apparitions versus just like shit that's happening that's a little bit out of the ordinary. I'd expect the lights to flicker before I'd expect any kind of disco dude or Victorian dude or anybody, to head up and down the stairs.
There's so many things I want to tell you, but we have to wait till after the reading because I don't want to influence anything about what's been going on here. So how is it I mean, we're not even in the same state. So is it going to be different if you're feeling energy that we're like, one, we have a live audience. I have an assistant here with me. We have a producer backstage right now. Like we're far apart. We don't know each other. Like, how is the energy going to be different, or how do you think it'll affect the reading?
Certainly people can have messages come through, and if I get anything like that, I'll tell you. Now based on what, before your week started, we sat down a week ago and we looked at the cards, and I kept getting the card betrayal, and I told you that, and then you had a tough week. I hope for your sake it wasn't betrayal, because betrayal is shitty. But if it was, that's a really good example of, like, I wasn't really reading for you. I was actually asking the cards if I should do this with you. And they were like, betrayal. And I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. And then, but and that's actually why I brought up to you. I want to make sure that we're not like hating trans people or like racist or something. You know what I mean? Because I was like,
everyone here.
We hate everyone equally. That's what we're looking for. No, but like, but seriously, I was like, I would feel terrible if I came here in good faith and then there was someone, obviously not you, but someone on the other side of the screen who used this for some sort of like hate-filled agenda. That would be a betrayal.
Karen, and this week has been so full of losers with nothing to do that
I'm so sorry.
Wait until somebody wants to donate their Friday night to somebody they don't like. It's just like the biggest. I grew up with a pack of drag queens in Hollywood, and if you have to like scrutinize me or care about, you know, what I'm wearing, who I'm with, whatever. Like,
Which
you must
let me just break in. That lace thing you're wearing is absolutely fetching. It's so cute.
can we just say Temu? It was like $23. I
Temu for
watched
the
it
win.
to get all the slave juices off of it, and it just disintegrated. Like the lace looks really
Oh
old.
no. Well, that's part of the look, right? The disintegration of the lace.
I'll send you the link, and it's stretchy, and I've got my cowgirl boots on, so I'm super comfy.
Oh, you're killing it. You're killing it.
And my hair was in buns all day, so it's still kind of wet from this morning because I worked all day. So I just wanted to be spooky for you. So
Yeah, you're
can,
killing it, girl. You are killing
get
it.
ready. Okay.
So anyway, just to finish that thought though.
Yeah.
Your original question was, can things influence this reading? And the answer is yes. And I've also, before we began, while you were running your intro, I was burning sage and I was asking all of my allies, my protectors, my ancestors, and my pantheon to protect me tonight, but also to help me, to help anyone that might be reaching out in need of a message from the other sides, maybe is a better way to say that, or maybe even from our side, but something that the illusion of space, if you will, is getting in the way from, or the illusion of separateness between people, because again, a lot of cutting edge math and science would tell us that we're all kind of one infinite moment in space-time. And if that's true, then being far away from your house or other people watching from wherever, we're all in this together. There's a beautiful philosophy in Tantric Shaivism that says that the universe basically broke itself into little pieces to experience itself. And because when you're all one, you can't really experience it because it's just you. So if we go at this experience tonight that we're all having together as little disparate parts of a divine consciousness, then that means that all kinds of things could come through. And especially because we're reaching out to something that is in your house, that is separate from your house. Because your house itself obviously is a house. Maybe it's holding some energies. But from what I feel when we were talking to that, whatever it was last week, I feel that there is something genuinely there. So we're hoping that we're going to speak to that and figure out what the hell it wants to say or what's going on.
I don't know. I'm scared. Pammy's over on YouTube. Hi, Pammy. If we have any betrayers in the chat, you're our moderator. So keep everybody nice and in line. And Terry Ryan on YouTube says you both look great, just so you know. Well, excellent. I put this makeup on at 6 o'clock this morning. So there we have it. There is no Molly, only ghost. Listen, you don't make it worse. I'm scared already. Okay, so what's like the biggest misconception that you hear about tarot or how it works?
Probably just that you have to be an expert, that you have to study the cards. Like, yeah, you should study anything you want to do. But like, I personally think that if you want to do something woo, you should go woo it up. And that doesn't mean, like in real life, I have a very classic 9-to-5 job. That doesn't stop me from doing this. Although it stops me from like, having wild goth hair. I mean, in terms of like the real witchy shit, like I'm a priestess, whether I am in a, run a company or not. And that goes for anyone who's watching. If you're thinking right now, man, I should just do that, but it's too bad that I'm not, whatever, you are. Like, all of us can have this, all of this. Wait, what was the question?
The biggest misconception.
Oh, yeah. And that's it. That, our world is full of mysteries. And in my opinion, actually, the tarot, for all that it can bring maybe unwanted insight sometimes, in my opinion, unless you're working with someone who's got some weird agenda of their own, it's going to give you the information you need, even if it's not the information you want, to become better. So I think the misconception that it might be scary or evil or only for, the chosen few. Those are the things that I would like to dispel.
Okay. Are you ever scared to do a reading, or like, because with Ouija, there's so much like, oh, don't do it by yourself, and
I personally would never invite like a disembodied spirit to work through my hands. I feel like that's weird. I kind of feel like it's like the spiritual date rape drug shit, honestly. I feel like it's weird. And just like I would never like blindfold myself at a club and be like, just put a drink in my hand. Like I don't want to open my, I don't want to open myself up to that. I
think I went to that club in the early 90s.
Well, as long as you've got friends and a safe word and stuff, I mean, it's good. But there's those clubs and there's those clubs. But the point is though that I personally wouldn't do that. And I think tarot is different because with tarot, I am my own entity.
Okay.
Manipulating a distinctly human story. And the story of the cards that the cards represent is a story that has been put together using pretty archaic imagery, but it's the story of people doing people shit. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's different than the kind of divination where you're being possessed or obsessed. I know that there's places that's appropriate. I'm not saying you should never do that, but in this case, I don't feel that it's the same as any of that stuff, and it's safer because you're always in control of your hands. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. That's not to me. The only thing that's scary, like about tarot, is when it's like, "Hey, you better deal with your shit," and you're like, "I'm not ready. I don't wanna. And then you got to be like, all right, I'll deal with the shit."
And is that like one card specifically? Like, is there a card that you pull where you're like, uh-oh?
Well, yeah, there are. There's a few. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to know because what if you get that one?
Again, do you want to own your shit or not? There's no card that's
I feel like it's not my shit. It's like the house, or it's not me. It's something else. So well, have you ever had to give bad news as a result of a reading then?
Yes.
Then yeah.
Yeah. The hardest ones are definitely about loss. People that feel that they have a loss of agency over themselves. There's a couple cards that will come up together often that to me would indicate a past that has abuse of some kind. A loss of the sense that you have, not you, but that one has misplaced their sense of agency about themselves. And that's really sad. Poor choices. I've seen some readings where you have to say, yeah, you're about to make a really poor choice and it's going to fuck you up for a while. We've all made them, Mm-hmm. And, I'd say the one misconception that people have is like, oh, the death card, whatever. Like, I hate to break it to everyone watching this chat, but I don't need a pack of cards to tell you that you're going to die. We're all going to die.
Dun, dun, dun.
Big spoiler alert. So if that makes you uncomfortable, that's natural.
Okay.
But that's also a really good jumping off point about thinking about what you are going to do with your one precious life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, sickness, sometimes I see stuff that that would indicate that someone's sick. And
oh, really?
Yeah. Or that someone is going to be monetarily poor, or lose things.
I could tell you that without a card.
Yeah. So, all of that's hard. Or heartbreak, the heartbreak card, it's in there. And all of these things are part of the human experience. And sometimes the only thing we can do with that kind of information is say, listen, it's going to suck for a while, but nothing sucks forever,
That's true.
That's the best I got for anything in life. And even with the really good shit, I've never, ever, ever had a reading that's like, everything will be great and perfect for the rest of your life. The end. Like that, we know we all want that, right? We all want someone to tell us that, but
The
it's
winning
just-
lottery numbers.
Right. Well, and I mean, look at the people you hear about that win the lottery. That doesn't make everything go away either, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, there's a lot of stuff I don't want to hear about myself. I want to be told I'm wonderful and pretty and perfect and I'll never age and I'll never make another bad decision. But like that's not why we ask for answers from
Yeah.
non-corporeal sources. Just like if you know, for the people that are religious, you don't get religion just so you can feel like you've got God in your back pocket. You know, there's deeper meanings to all of that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the cards. How do you decide? Like we were talking the other day and you have different decks.
I do.
How do you know which deck you're going to use for a client? Let's call me.
I was calling you a querent, like someone making an inquiry.
Oh, okay, querent. That's a new for me. And like, so how do you know what deck? And then with the deck, then how do you know what spread? Because you can do them in different patterns.
It depends on what people are asking. You know, the classic spread, of course, would be the Celtic Cross. That's the one that comes in the little book when you get a book of tarot, usually. And I think that's a pretty good basic spread to read for a lot of people, because a lot of people say, hey, I just want something basic. What was going on? What is going on? What's going to be going on? How's it going to go? And for something like that, you know, any spread that you choose and you're used to doing, I think can be useful because you don't get distracted about the mechanics. And so for me, you know, if someone's asking for a basic past, present, future, whip one of those out. I'm never thinking about what goes where or what's what. I like doing chaotic readings. I like using multiple decks, and I like kind of throwing the cards as they come to me. A lot of the times I'll tell myself to choose a number, and the number that I choose will be somewhat like what I base the reading on. Other things, you know, if someone has a choice, like, hey, I'm looking at two different options, which should I go with? Then that pretty much clearly tells me that it's going to be them and then their options, what they're doing and what the options are. Other times, yeah, off the cuff, sometimes I'll find a spread in a book or something and I'll be like, oh, that seems fun. Let's try that one. You know, 3-card draw for like a quick reading, single card draws for a simple question. And then, yeah, I feel like at this point, after so many years, I'm comfortable doing just kind of these freeform readings. And I love using multiple decks to clarify or like dig deeper into an issue.
Okay. So what are we going to use tonight?
Tonight? Okay, let's get serious here. Tonight, we're going to start with a classic Rider-Waite. And I want to do the classic Rider-Waite because I've got the feeling that this house has seen ritual magic before.
My heart just dropped.
And it likes, I think it likes poking at you.
I will not confirm or deny.
You don't have to. I think that this entity is fascinated by what you do. I think it somehow feeds off what you're doing here in this podcast. And I think it can see itself when it looks at your screen.
Oh, shit.
And I think that we can talk to it two ways with this tonight. I think we're going to let it speak through the cards that I think it already recognizes. And then we're going to have a message. And I feel like I feel like there's actually two things in your house. And I think one's a man, and he's the one that likes to poke at you. But when we were envisioning being on, when I was envisioning being with you on a landing, I also got a strong feeling of a sad female presence. And I think there's something going on with her too. So we're going to try to break through to her using a different deck. But we're going to wait until we're in the place where she is. If you have a landing in your house that has a window on it and maybe a window seat or maybe a radiator, someplace that's like, it's like a stairway and then another stairway that do they like a stairway
This
and then
house is a roller coaster.
okay. So if you've got like a stairway and then a landing and then another stairway, I'd like to pause there and do a completely unrelated reading.
I have 2 of those.
Okay.
So do you want
Does
me?
one have a window?
I'll say no, but they all connect to rooms with windows.
Okay. Or maybe a picture of a landscape. I don't know. Something like
The
that.
stairs, it's sort of a roller coaster inside the center of the house.
Okay.
I don't think I have any stairs. Yeah, all my stairs are the center, the spine of the house.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So that's an interesting piece of information too, because I think that corners are places for energy to collect.
This place is a roller coaster.
So when we talk about that, and you and I talked about a little bit about this off screen, but I really believe that one of the best ways you can cleanse a house is to sweep it, literally sweep it out and sing or pray or make happy noises while you do it, whatever that means. So I feel like there's some sadness caught in one of your stairwells, but we can cross that. We can raid that stairwell when we come to it. So yeah. So anyway, to go back to your question, we're going to start with the Rider-Waite because whoever that is that's hanging out and poking at you, I think they know these cards. I think there's something in here they recognize.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to get my potato phone rocking?
I think we can start right there.
So, okay. Where I'm at right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We'll work with these to start. Who are you? Oh, interesting. All right, so I want to show you guys the first card that I pulled because this is very prescient. This is the Judgment card, inverted. So I'm going to turn it right side up so y'all can see it. And for those of you following along at home, we've got Judgment, which is number 22 in the Major Arcana. So right out of the gate, we're going for some big energy. Judgment is showing dead people coming out of their graves because the angel is calling them to heaven. However, in this case, it is inverted.
What does that mean?
It means that somebody got away with something. They either judged themselves guilty or they were judged guilty. And somehow it wasn't the right verdict. There has been an injustice done.
Oh, okay.
Is there anything else you want to tell me about this? I'm going to switch decks for just a minute. We're going to go to the Aleister Crowley Thoth deck. This deck is a little rougher. Tends to be a little more tough love. Was it you? The Knight of Wands. Okay, so the person we're talking to right now thought they were doing it right or did something impulsively that they thought was right in the moment. But Oh, they did it for love. They did it for love, or for the love, for the love of the game, not necessarily like romantic love. So the card I got to indicate impulsiveness would be the Knight of Wands. You see this guy, see how he's kind of like, the horse is rearing, there's fire. He's like, ah! And that's just what that card's about. Like just jumping forward into something that's maybe like not the best, but there, you just did it. And then when I asked why, we got the Lovers.
Okay.
Now the Lovers can be about like soulmates or whatever. I use that term very air quotey, but the Lovers is also a card about alchemy and about ritually fusing opposites. The Lovers shows up for me a lot when there is a history of like Freemasonry or like even like fringe societies, stuff like that. So you might want to look into like the history of the house in terms of like somebody who maybe, I don't know, this was like, or even like maybe not even Freemasons, but maybe like the Odd Fellows or one of those like defunct groups, maybe even like the Shriners or something. But a lot of them have a lot of classic, the same like mythological basis as the tarot, basically the same iconography. So, okay, so somebody was betrayed or participated in a betrayal because of a snap judgment. We're going to put you aside and we're going to go back to the main story. So that's a little bit about them. Let's go back to this judgment. Inverted. So now what? Now you're what? Do you want it to be better? Are you stuck? Are you staying? All right, Two of Wands. He still thinks he has to control something. He still thinks he has to do shit. He still thinks he's in charge. And what's funny is, and I want you to hear this, dude, whoever you are. I want you to know, buddy, that this is just the Two of Wands. That's some petty, that's very small. And I know that probably sounds mean, but that can also mean that it's all right that you let it go. You don't have to keep an eye on the whole world. As you can see, we've got a guy holding a globe here and kind of gazing off into the distance. This card would traditionally indicate someone who's like building a business or raising a family and kind of feels like he's the one that like understands it. But after you're dead really isn't the best time to do that, sir. Like, it's too late now. You have to set that world down. And I know it's probably making you feel like powerful that you're out there like seeing things like in 3D or whatever from an outsider's perspective. But I think we both, if you've been doing alchemy, we both know that that's not really the case, that your time is over. Okay. He's not listening. He's hiding now.
Oh.
He doesn't want to know. All right. Well, let's just go back to our general reading then. If he doesn't want to see, then we can just keep going. All right. Okay. What else do we got? House. Tell me something else. What's happening here? Tell me about how to bring... Oh. Okay, so I got the Five of Pentacles, which is about poverty. The house has an energy of poverty to it. So now, okay, so full disclosure, you did share with me that you were doing a lot of renovations or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, for our listening audience at home, this isn't a true cold read in the sense that I know that you already disclosed you were doing upkeep, but in general, me asking the house about what's going on and it giving me the card of poverty would indicate that there's an energy there that still feels very bereft or maybe desperate, or maybe just cold. So I'm going to say that that's separate from our guy. He's still hiding, by the way. That was too much for him. He didn't like that little message.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so if that energy is in the house in general, I would just say for you as, the living occupant, make sure that you don't fall into that energetic habit that the house might be holding. And this is a really good example of like what that person was asking about earlier, like not an actual ghost, but just like an energy impression. Don't fall into a poverty mindset. And if you find yourself like worrying about there being enough or being financially safe or stuff, some of that might be the house. So that would be a good time to, vacuum or sweep or cleanse, smudge, whatever, and remind yourself that you're doing great in life and that you're not, you don't need to be in a poverty mindset. You can be in an abundance mindset. So that would be insidious, I guess is the word I'm looking for. If the house has that energy in it, you just don't want to absorb that, because you will start feeling poor in spirit, All right, house. That's good. Thank you. So before we go back with our friend, I don't know, maybe he's done. That might have been too fast for our new buddy here.
Well, maybe nobody's ever talked to him.
I mean, we talked a little bit last week when your light flickered, and I was like, don't be fucking with her all week, because
I've had to yell at them this week.
Did you? Did they simmer down after you did that?
Temporarily, and then something else would happen hours later or the next day.
That's what I was afraid of. See, they're excited. He's excited because now you're paying attention to him. So we're gonna have to put in some. They usually
are.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to put in some rails at the end of this, because we don't want this to just like get out of control. So, all right, but there's other energy in the house besides just this fucking guy. So Horace, Harold, Harry, I don't know, I'm getting an H. Anyway, I don't know. Okay, so let's go back to the house. So there's a sentiment of poverty, but let's go back beyond that. Let's go back to the happiness of the house. Let's see what we can find. Will you just tell me, I don't want to know the city or the state or the road, but would you tell me, and if you want to mute the, chat or whatever, you can just text me or something, but just the house number, just the number that the house would have been known from.
I will text that to you.
Deal. Because I want to address it as it and make sure we don't get interference.
I've been very chatty with the neighbors the past couple of days. There you are.
I'll see if I can pull that up. Stand by.
1313 Mockingbird Lane, everyone.
Right? Okay, got it. Tell me about the time you were happy. There was happiness in the house. Oh, there was like a place to have celebrations. Four of Wands, classic, like I don't know, Victorian garden party, like 1920s mixer vibe, like a place that people would get together and have pleasant things happen, pleasant social events, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that energy is in your house too, which is beautiful. That's lovely. All right, and then how about a little key going forward? Like, what are we going to do here? What do we have to watch out for, or what can we encourage to make Molly feel like her home is her castle and she is the queen? Oh, interesting. Work. It wants you to work. Yep.
That's all I do.
Yeah. Be careful that you don't have too much work, because even if you're good at 10 things, doing all 10 things at once is going to be too much for you. So choose the things that you want to prioritize. And this would be good. I mean, you don't need the tarot to know this, but, and I mean, speaking of somebody who lives in an old house, like, I should put this on my wall and remember it too, that, you know, you can't do everything simultaneously. And if all you do is see projects when you're going through your house everywhere and you can't find any joy anywhere and it's all just a burden, it's going to become oppression. So for you and your peace, give yourself that. I also pulled a card for the hidden nature of like you in the house, and I got the Hermit. So the Hermit isn't just about being alone, though. It's also about, you know, he's got the classic light in the darkness. So certainly, like, if you were in the mood to listen to Led Zeppelin and like go for it, like now would definitely be the time. But also outside of that, the Hermit is also about the seeker, the person that's not just alone, but is intentionally looking a little deeper at things at this time. So don't invite anybody into your space that like throws off you might be in a place right now that you might be ready to look at some things that you weren't ready to look at until now, or reflect on some things that you didn't have the wisdom to reflect on clearly until now. So don't take on so much work at the house that you don't have the mental peace to reflect on the things that need reflecting on.
Okay.
And that, I think that will bring you a sense of peace too. So, you know, tell all the projects to get in line. You can't, you know, if you think about how long that house has been around, it's been around a long time. And so all of the things that are going on with it have been going on in little bits for a long time. And that's how you have to look at bringing it into line with what you want. Because you're not going to, you won't even feel satisfied. I mean, you'll never feel satisfied if all you do is look at the projects. So look at your completions, look at your like points of rest, your points of contemplation, your points of stillness in between all the stuff that you're trying to get done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know where that guy went, but he's out.
Okay.
We scared him. I don't know, like Harold or Harry or something is like the name that I'm getting, and something with an H.
Okay.
Horton.
I'm just taking notes for later because maybe
yeah,
I'll find out more about the house.
Yeah, Mr. H is who we're going to call him for now. So, and that might not even, that, you know, H is also, I think, like a Masonic thing. So I might just be free associating with that. So from our lover's card from earlier. So whatever. Let's go on a little journey, and we're gonna go looking for what we can find here. Oh, I do feel like there's a person or two in the audience that had a question. So this would be a really good time before we go like on the lam. If somebody wants a question
before
asked.
we go walk around.
Yeah,
Can
somebody.
you see the chat at all?
I can't see anything now.
Okay.
Just throw me a thing or two.
Okay, they're roasting me, saying all work and no play makes Molly a dull girl.
Ah!
And Red Bike says he started hearing Stairway to Heaven when you held up that card.
Ah, yes!
Okay. Anybody on YouTube have a question for Lux before we take this remote and start walking through the house? You know what? Can we give it like 30 seconds? I'm going to pee faster than any human being has ever peed in their entire life.
I am going to keep talking to Mr. H and see what we
can. Okay, yeah.
You,
don't tell them about my ghosts. Prepare yourselves to see some fucking ghosts, Circle of One says. Circle of One, if I see a ghost, I'm going to freak out.
I would be really surprised. So that would be fabulous. All right, Mr. H. I can't see the chat. And I think you're hiding from me. I think you're hiding from all of us because you didn't know that the void was going to look bad tonight. But here we are. If you really want your story to be told, now is the time. You could speak through the cards, but we're not going to play this game where we just poke at Molly all the time. Mm-mm. I do feel like there's someone out there right now. This this is weird. I feel like there's somebody out there right now that has a question about their mom, and I'd like to read for you for that. If you kind of like wanted to ask, but weren't ready or whatever. And this can stay private. You don't have to say anything about it. But I'd like to know about this person's mom, how she's doing. Oh, okay. So she's passed. She's at peace. I've got the Four of Swords, which is about someone who lived a good life. And from the outside, they looked like a warrior, but maybe you knew that they were something else. And
Okay, I
they're at
pee like
peace.
twice a week, so this was very inconvenient timing.
May I recommend water in these troubled times?
Which card says emergency dehydration? Okay.
Well, no, that was good timing because there was a message that came through. I don't know who it was for, but
Oh,
we got
okay.
it through. So, yep.
Oh, a message for somebody in the chat?
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder for who.
Well, it was pretty private, so
Oh, okay.
yeah.
None of my business.
It's. I mean, you can. It doesn't matter if I tell you because we don't know who it is. But there was a warrior that passed, and she seemed pretty tough, but she's at peace now. So we're really glad about that.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So Mr. H is nowhere to be seen. I was trying to talk to him while you were gone. He wasn't having it. He's not looking at the chat. He's not nothing.
Okay.
So we can go looking for him a little bit. Maybe we can
Okay.
find that stairwell or a window or something. And maybe find the sadness that we were talking about when we were a little earlier before we jumped on the live, and see what we can find.
Okay. All right. So you want me to go remote on my potato phone?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I'm going to pull myself out of this chat. The feedback situation is awful, so I have to run out of the room. Otherwise, it gets crazy feedback. I don't know how to fix that. If you know how to fix that, mollysleuth@gmail.com. Okay. So let me pull myself out.
Yeah, see, I don't see him now either. I feel like he got a little camera shy. And you guys that are viewing out there, you might see something on screen that neither one of us sees. Like, I don't have a very big screen, but if you're watching on like a full-size monitor, you might be able to see something paranormal that we don't. So keep an eye out for that. Oh my God, look at your fabulous hair. You are too cool.
Thank you.
So how do
Okay.
I need to turn it?
I want to make sure you're centered.
Oh, so yes. Okay. So then
Ghost cam. Okay, hold on. What's to our left right there?
we are in what I'm using as a sewing room.
Okay. What's that painting on the wall?
This one
Yeah.
is a landscape from.
What's underneath it?
It's a sewing light.
Oh, a
and
light. Okay.
Sewing machine and some projects. You know.
Yeah. That's
Standard projects like you do.
amazing. That's really cool.
It'll all make sense once you see the basement.
I wanna find that because I kept getting like a window or a landscape. So if I can find where that was, I want to read for whatever sad energy is
Oh,
there. But
okay.
I don't think it's this. Okay.
You
we can
want
go.
him to
Sorry.
just scan the room?
If you want to, or not, whatever's whatever's comfortable for you. Oh, what beautiful woodwork.
Oh, a headless creature.
All right, we can keep rolling. I'm just, I've got the deck at the ready here, so we'll go through.
Okay, so you said a landing and you said possibly a landscape. I am a landscape girl. I love nature, so I have
Oh,
so many
interesting.
landscapes. When you said a landing, like to me, I think about like here on this floor, looking down to the next half floor. I've got 2 landscapes on either side of me,
Okay.
so I don't know if you feel anything.
Well,
here.
let's just pull a card. I'm gonna pull it. Okay, so I'm gonna switch decks. We're switching to the Crow deck because I think that that's a deck that our erstwhile friend wouldn't recognize. But I am inviting the Shire spirit of the house, the sad one. This is your time to come forward and talk to us a little bit. So let's start and just see what happens. Are these the landscapes? Oh, interesting. Okay. So I've got the Emperor reversed and then the 2 of Cups inverted. So I think we are getting her to come through a little bit. There's a little bit of heartbreak here and also kind of like a man who doesn't really know what to do with his power, which kind of lines up with what we were talking about earlier. Why don't you just keep walking and let's see what comes through.
So then this would be the next landing
Okay.
between stairs.
Is this like a turret? This is so cool.
This house is crazy.
It's amazing.
It looks normal on the outside till you get in and you're lost.
Fabulous. What is that to your right, to your left?
This room?
Your other left.
Oh. It's just part of the, you mean this part?
Yeah.
It's just an odd hole for demons to come out.
Let's hold on. Let's get in there for a second. What's going on in there?
What's going on in there? It's just storage.
What's the light at the end?
It's not a light, it's a plastic bin.
Oh, it's just like reflecting?
Yep.
Okay. Is this what you wanted to show me? Maybe something hidden or something that was like, something that was like put away, put to rest.
I have a lot of stuff in there.
Let's keep going. I'm not getting a clear read.
Okay. I've got a bedroom here if you want to come in here. I'm going to go to this corner.
That feels really neutral to me.
This room feels neutral.
Yep. Not that corner.
Not this corner.
Touch that light. Huh. I just pulled the same card. Okay. All right. We can keep going.
Okay. We're going down the floor again. I guess we could turn a light on right here.
Okay, I think he's hiding out in here. I just pulled another card and it's the Knight of Wands. So I think we're getting close. He wasn't expecting me to go look for him. I don't think he was expecting us to go look for him at all, actually. So
you like this room?
let's hang out in here. Let's hang out in here for a second. Do you want to pick your favorite spot in that room and sit there for a moment. Why? So I'm getting, oh yeah, King of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. This was a big show-off room. It was the big fancy place to be. But it was based on something a little duplicitous. I'm seeing the 5 of Swords, which was kind of like sneaky. I'm also seeing the 3 of Pentacles inverted, which would be like either work you're faking or like work that you're doing, or you're like taking credit for somebody else's work, not you. Something a little bit like something that would make a person kind of wrinkle their nose or squint a little bit. But I don't think that's our guy coming through. I think he's kind of hiding in there. Let's switch back over to the Crow deck and see what she's got to say. Our sad lady. Is there anything you want to bring through to us in this room? Is it this one? Okay. The Devil, the Hanged Man, the Seven of Swords. All right, so this guy was like, he was like, he would influence people to make choices that weren't necessarily in their best interest.
Now, would this be a former, like, resident of the house?
I think so. Or someone that used the house is the phrase that I want to say.
Okay.
Let's jump over here for a second, just for a clear view. Was this his house? I think he just thought it was. Like, he saw it as his house, but I don't think he actually owned it.
Like, I picture Lenny and Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley kicking the door up and going, hello.
Something like that, yeah. But here's the thing though, whatever this energy is, he took off. Because, like, do you remember I was telling you that, like, oftentimes I know something's around because I start, like, getting the, like, hair, like scared. Like, I feel scared, like my body feels scared. I don't feel that right now in there at all. Do you?
No.
It's like he's hiding out somewhere. Like, we scared him by talking directly to him, because I could feel him at the beginning. Like, he was like right there, and then now he just seems like he's not. So let's keep poking around. I mean, maybe he just left. I don't know. That might be it. He might also understand that, you know, he's dealing with a large energetic group of people that could basically keep him at bay if we told him to, and he may not want to hear that.
Got a lot of weird stuff, Lux. This room is full of a lot of stuff.
And it's beautiful. Look at that. Your house is gorgeous.
Oh,
still not feeling anything though.
Okay. Moving. I'll go round in case you.
Is there something in there? No, I think it's the kitchen. Never mind. It feels like there's something that was there when you moved in, but it's probably just like your kitchen cabinets and stuff.
Something in the kitchen?
I don't know, like in that area, like where you're standing right now, or like right behind you, or like was maybe that. No, I don't know.
The former owners left a lot of things for me.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would totally, yeah, that tracks. It's like it doesn't feel like it's yours yet, but like it's for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they left me a lot of things, and a lot of them I gifted to movers and people who have come and gone from the house, and
Sure.
so that my stuff could fit. And who knew I had to finish stuff?
Let's do a quick reading on that.
Okay.
What is the memory of things? What is the memory of the things? What is the memory of the things? What is the memory of the things? Oh, indolence. Okay. So like indolence win. The sun obscured. Okay, so disappointment. So there's something with that stuff where like interesting. Let's try something. Will you sit at that table?
Yeah.
I've never done this before. I just kind of had an idea. I'd like you to pretend that you're handling these cards.
I can't see you at all, so
Doesn't matter. Just pretend you're sitting there. Yep, just fucking around with the cards.
sounds like you're shuffling.
Mm-hmm. What's going on in there? Pull a card. Set it down. Now we're going to pull another one from the bottom of the deck. Set that down. Your cards are the World and the Page of Wands. So again, there's going to be a feeling that's attached to the furniture of indolence, obscured light, and like accepted disappointment. Those things are not your things. If you know what, I don't know, indolence is kind of an old-fashioned word, but it means kind of just like burbling along at the minimum of like usefulness or less. The sun obscured would be either like putting shit off that you really should be doing and not living your best life, or like the concept of light under a bushel basket, like from the Bible. All of that energy is in that house, in that room, and I think it's attached to your furniture. But the good news is that that's just sort of like buying it's like buying a couch from a smoker. Like if you fight it, you can get the smell out, you know? But the reason I'm telling you this is be careful. Again, if you get those emotions, they're not yours. If you feel like you sit down at that table and you just don't want to get up, or you're like, oh my God, what am I even doing with this furniture? Do I even like it? Even if you moved in and you were like, oh, this is amazing, thanks. And now you're like, I don't even know, it's not even mine. Oh my God, I'm stuck with it. Or feelings like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would say get up and take a walk, get out, get some air. And kind of like on the note of what we were talking about last week, don't wait for that energy to drag you down, because it will. Cleanse it right away. And if that means incense from the church where your mom made you go when you were a kid, even though you thought it was dumb and it kind of resonated at the time, if that resonates now, go for it. If you want to go to like a new age shop and get some kind of a, smudge stick, I always recommend doing something with herbs that are local to the area. Of course, don't buy something imported that's some random shit, something that's connected to the earth where you're at, or the earth where you came from, because you mentioned to me that you'd moved somewhat recently. So like if there's another place that you feel more resonant with and you want to work with those herbs, that's okay too. But find some way to reconsecrate that space to you, because you, look at, you're the world crow. I'm showing your viewers, but this is the world. This is you're everything. You are what's real in that house. Everything else is just remnants of what used to be. And that story is over. That story is done. So if you feel heavy, or you feel hopeless or disappointed or scattered, you gotta nip that in the bud and be like, that is not me. And if there's a particular place in that room is where I'm getting it, but if there's any of that leftover stuff that might have I don't know, like absorbed those vibes, if you can't get it out, I mean, whatever, clean it, oil it, varnish it, paint it, and if it doesn't work, get the fuck rid of it, because if you can't kick those vibes out, they're going to drag you down with them. It's like living with a super negative roommate. You'll never win against that, you know, because it's like attaching a weighted vest to you, you know.
I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start. Like the plants are really the only thing that I've been the only owner of.
Well, and that's okay. I mean, you know, a lot of the stuff you can cleanse. I mean, get like, you know, and again, it totally depends on what you like. Like for me, I love the smell of Murphy's oil soap. To me, that's like having Florida water, you know? So you can just wipe it down with something that smells good, and the whole time just be like, I'm joyful, I am free, I am what was some of the other stuff the house was telling you? I am financially secure. I have a mindset of abundance. Reprogram all of the stuff in there, because it's just, I mean, the whole concept of like the old school concept of like a magic wand. What is that? It's a symbol of you directing your intention. And what you want to do right now is turn this whole house into a huge talisman of your joy, your delight, your power. And so right now I'm feeling something in there where someone just kind of like gave up, or like just kind of stagnated. And it seems to me like this has nothing to do with our little beastie, our little Mr. H.
Okay.
This is something else, something more modern. And that also means it'll be easier to eradicate, but you have to be very intentional with your joy and your sense of abundance. This room in particular.
Okay. It's so interesting to like think about it from your perspective, because I'm sitting here and just like a room full of dead people shit. I literally collect like antique medical equipment that might have been in surgeries decades ago. Like there's a lot of like heaviness here to maybe somebody else, but it's like, I mean, I collect monsters and ghosts and aliens and stuff that could be dark to people, but it's not dark to me. To me, like monsters are so full of life and like
and you can't
fun.
tell them what to do. They're free, you know?
Yeah, they're just like,
Yeah.
I collect like derpy monsters. I just love to, there's monsters.
I don't feel
house.
like this is the stuff that gives you happiness. Like you talking about all that stuff and smiling about the medical equipment. I mean, that sounds fucking awesome. And like
I've had that shit since I was like 20. I've had some of this stuff, you know, my
but
whole
you know, but you know what I'm saying? That stuff gives you joy. And so
yeah,
I don't think
if
that's
you
what we're
were just,
talking
like,
about.
Joe Q citizen coming into my house, I think that you might be afraid of me.
Well, Joe Q citizen isn't welcome. And that actually might be part of the reason with our little Mr. H here. So what I would say though, my feeling is that it has something to do with the woodwork, like the wood.
Well, I love wood. I feel like it has so much like.
Oh no, it's no, it's
to it.
gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I'm just saying that if you get these feelings, if you feel the heaviness, if you feel negativity, if you feel anything that you're not enjoying, I would do a basic cleanse on that room. And generally in the house, if this is very close to that feeling that I was imagining last week when we just did that little intro. If you were feeling perfectly confident in this house, we wouldn't be doing this. And I feel like energy like this sort of heavy, disappointed, indolent feeling, like someone who maybe passed thinking, I never lived the life I should have. That's not your story. But sometimes those kind of feelings can linger, almost like a chemical smell would linger. So if you start feeling like that, and if you don't, then it's not as strong as you are, and that's great. You know, it might never bother you. But if it does start weighing on you, or you feel those feelings, I would say, hey, that's not mine. And then just cleanse it right out, you know? And if that means Sisters of Mercy at 1 o'clock in the morning and dancing, you know, like moving the table out of the center of the room and dancing around until you feel fucking great. Great. You know, it's whatever works for you. It doesn't have to be sage and a tribal drum, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. But keep an eye on your feelings in that room. You want to maintain your joy in there. Yeah. All right, you want to go keep looking for Mr. H?
I suppose.
Oh, Guillermo Green. I love it.
Yeah, it's
That's
like a
gorgeous.
scene. It's called Sprinkle. It's like a total 1950s color.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Because I'm mentally ill and everything in my kitchen has to be red. So that really limits what color you can paint your kitchen. But this room originally was very dark, green cabinets and psychedelic mushroom contact paper, and
Whoa.
every cabinet was so like sticky, and
Ah!
there's a lot of work in this room.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just riffing off what you just said, but like maybe somebody had like a bad trip where they were really negative in that other room or something and it just sort of like stuck. I don't know. Just so you're happy. That's the important thing. You know, that's what we want. We want to live joyful, happy, empowered lives.
Okay.
All right. Anything here in the kitchen that we need to know about? Oh yeah. We're good. You're a witch doing good work. All right, let's keep going.
Down. I want to stop here. If you want to go there. This is the next like landing.
Yep. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, okay. So, same thing. The 10 of Wands again. So, once again, don't. This is for you. Don't. No, I'm not going to put that in a negative. I'll put it in a positive. Allow yourself to feel joy and happiness for the things you've accomplished, instead of a feeling of oppression about the things that you haven't done yet that you're inspired to do. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay. This set of stairs is one of the last things to do. So it's funny that you say that because I have to strip and stain these stairs and
Yep.
it'll get done.
Yep, it'll get done, and do it when it's a pleasure and not a burden.
I don't want to give anything away in the house, but would it be possible to ask a question about something specific?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, the people that I bought this house from left this portrait here, and I don't know who they are, but I just thought they were fabulous.
Oh my God, yeah. Can I, just for fun, can I see it close up? Wow. Aren't they wonderful?
And I just feel like if they weren't related to the people that sold me the house, why would they have it? But if they were, why would they leave it? I mean, they left me a lot of stuff, but it was furniture, and this was so personal.
Yeah. They may not, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Let's ask. Let me put this other message away. Can I get close to that photo again?
Okay, yeah. Can you show the?
All right. I can't see you, but you can see me. Is there a residual energy here that wants to come through? Huh. Is there anything that's... I'm not getting anything off of it.
Okay.
When I first asked, is there a residual energy that wants to come through? I got the Knight of Wands again.
I don't
So this
remember what that
makes
means.
it's just interesting that, you know, we've pulled a lot of cards out of a deck that has 78 cards each, and we've been working with 3 different decks.
Oh, there's a common theme in the house, eh?
And the Knight of Wands is the common theme.
Okay.
Someone impulsive.
Can we look at her? I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
I can't see her yet. Oh, wow. Lovely. Okay, let's see. Is there anything that wants to come through? Madam Bride? Do you have any messages for us? Page of Wands inverted. Okay. Six of Cups inverted. Is she young? I can't really see the picture.
I think so. It's really hard to tell. It's a different era.
All right, one more. Oh,
You know, 20-year-olds looked 40 to us because of the.
I mean, what I see here is that she was following what she thought was her true will, but it didn't end up very happy. It ended up kind of like a what's that called? A chimera of happiness. And is there a silver lining you'd like to reveal?
On this floor.
Yeah, that one I read pretty sad.
I guess you could just do a little 360 or something in here.
Is that a bar? What is that? That's so cool.
Oh, it's I don't know. I don't know what you would call it, but it's sort of a divider.
Cool. All right, let me feel. Well, I don't feel him here unless he's hiding. Ooh, look at that. Fabulous. Your taste is on point, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. I have kind of like an old man aesthetic.
An old man could never.
I have old men everywhere. And then I have like a 9-year-old boy that collects monsters.
Amazing. So I am getting some of the same cards. I've got the Emperor inverted again. I think that's our residual Mr. H energy.
Okay.
So yeah, the Emperor inverted and the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Wands are 2 big guys here, are 2 heavy hitters. Indolence again. Sorrow. The Moon inverted. Yeah, I just feel like there were some people fucking around with like big energy and not really knowing what they were doing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were doing it for like reasons of ego maybe. And now they're kind of stuck because they don't want to go over to the other side. Like they don't want to finish their journey after death. And now this is just my opinion. This isn't the cards. But based on what the cards are saying, I kind of feel like he wants to keep feeling like maybe he even likes being a ghost a little bit. Like he's like, oh, I'm powerful. Like
Okay.
I could, like I'm spooky,
Uh-huh.
something like that. The Emperor inverted is always about men who kind of want the look of power without the weight of the crown, and not literally, but like generally or metaphorically impotent men, and they can do a lot of damage. in their quest to appear powerful when they secretly think or know that they're not. But I still don't feel like Mr. H is here. I don't. I also don't like that, because if he's hiding out, it means that he doesn't have like an important story to be told or something that we can help him work through. It means that he likes being there and kind of poking at you, which, in my opinion, would also suggest that you should kind of go on the offensive and push him out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Are you at the bottom now?
Nope, I have another floor.
Okay, let's go one more and see if he's hiding down there.
All right, I don't know how much you're going to be able to see in here. I don't know if you can.
I don't know, but when you have a party, please invite me. This is so cool.
Yes, come over. I'm just going to follow the camera so you can see. And I don't know if you can see all of that or not. We can go wherever you want. Let's turn towards the out some fun things. All right, so I'm going to turn the lights on full blast so that hopefully we can get a good sense in here.
All right, so I've got a couple things coming through. First of all, this place, no matter how much you work on it, never feels like oppression. This one always feels like a delight to you. I've got the same card coming through for you, Ten of Wands, but in this case, it's inverted, which means that the burden is light, even though it's more than any sane person would take on. It's what you want. And that's really beautiful. So I love that. I also have the Death card down here. And no. Remember, we're reading for the house. And so the Death card down there doesn't mean, yeah. It's not that. The Death card means that, like, the stories that we've been telling upstairs are put to rest down here.
Okay.
You've made this your own. And the upshot is that this is a place where all of the stuff that we've been talking about all night isn't really relevant anymore. They don't recognize it. They don't want it. This one is completely up to you. If you do see stuff manifest down here, it's only because they want, like, because Mr. H is like tagging along on your coattails to bug you. But I would say in general, unless I'm getting this completely wrong, this is the place that's actually, you're in your power. It's your happy place. And he probably can't even make you feel disrupted. And I don't feel him anymore down there either. So I would say he's probably hiding out in that little cubby.
All monsters and things.
I think he's probably hiding out in that cubby on that first landing. And I would guess if we went all the way back upstairs, we might be able to find him back up there again. Because how often have you taken the stream through the house like this?
Well, I don't think we've done like a walkthrough.
Well, I don't think he likes it. I think he wants you to be right there where he can watch you and you can watch him, or like everyone can give him a little bit of like psychic energy, and you guys are all controllable and nobody can know that it's not his house anymore. That would be my cold read on it. So if you want, this is fucking phenomenal. What you've done is spectacular here.
It's just, like your friends really see like your basement, so you could just get totally mentally ill in here.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Table.
Oh, the whole thing is just gold.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. And
so let's go back up. I didn't think of this, but I'd like to grab a little noisemaker or two, and let's see if we can go all the way back up. and pause on that first stairwell that has that little cubby hole and see if we can draw him out.
Okay.
All right, I'll be back.
All the way back up. The first landing. I don't know. I didn't do some of the rooms, but is she on?
All right, I'm gonna grab one more thing.
Okay. She was shuffling. I do have for you. I can't wait to tell her like all the bits of the house because I've had to just like shut my mouth and not tell her when she says something here, there, or the other that if she was hot or cold.
All right. Let's open her up. You want to open up that little cubby space?
Oh, this one? It's another room. It's a room we haven't been in.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I think he's hiding out in that little space.
Like this space. I'm gonna back up.
Where's that little like? It was like that little storage space at the very first landing that we went to.
One more down.
You want to put the camera all the way in there? Yeah, take me in there.
Got a light coming for you, Lux.
No, you can leave it off. It's okay.
Okay.
Hey. 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 Mr. H. Boy, I don't know. I think we just scared him. Are you scared?
There's one more room that we didn't do that connects to this little cubby.
All right, let's try that.
I'm gonna go down in there. In here.
Oh, what a beautiful color.
Pool party.
Gorgeous.
It's the cleanest, brightest blue. It really
It's
is.
like, it's cheery without being bullshit. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's not it's not a kid's room blue. It's not like trying to be overly sophisticated. It's just really just like bright and full of like, it's the happiest blue called Pool Party.
All right, so how does this connect to that?
So, okay, the house is shaped like a corkscrew. And so it connects, I guess, through the shower this direction.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Like up, but the wall connects.
Uh-huh. How do you feel? It feels neutral to me.
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time in those cubbies cleaning them out and putting nails down and insulating it and stuff. So it all feels kind of neutral to me, but
Then let's go all the way back up.
okay.
Let's try to find him one more time. And if we don't find him tonight, the stuff that you're going through is going to continue. You're going to have to go on the offensive, I think, a little bit against this guy.
So do you want me to go back on the computer?
Let's just go back up there and see what's going on.
Okay, go up another floor. Yeah, like when it comes to like feng shui or whatever the hell they tell you, like the zigzags, like confuse spirits. This is the weirdest hallway. If you look down at the rug, I had to custom make this rug because everything is so jig-jag in here. There was no way to get like a runner or whatever. So
Oh, I love it though. It's beautiful.
it's a really like funky little space.
Yeah. Oh, it's fabulous. So let's go back into your studio and let's see if we can talk to this guy a little bit more.
All right, I'm gonna remove this and then I will join the stream from my computer.
All right. And if there's anybody else that needs anything else, now would be a good time. I was just inviting if there's anybody else that has a question or anything that they want to talk about.
Yeah, let's go through the chat. Oh, hi, Chris. The moldiest wall. Yes, the moldy wall. I demand to see a ghost, they say.
Well,
let me just keep scrolling.
You hear that, Mr. H?
Okay, here we are to where we started. I see a face in the clouds in that pic. Oh, Terry Ryan, I don't know which picture you mean. What's behind that little door? I'm wondering if you mean that cubby door, because I've got a lot of fucking cubbies and storage here. That's where Molly stores the demons. Thank you, Circle of One. There's an addition on that side of the house. Could have been an old widow place, or probably window place. I don't know what the original layout was. I just know that somebody was on acid when they decided that this house was going to be shaped like this. And is that where Mr. H lives? The rabbit is haunted. Burn a Del Taco wrapper. Wood holds energy. Oh, I like that, Rod. Sisters at 1 a.m. sounds fun. Yeah, Alice in her party dress. Looked like a wall full of tarot cards. Oh, Terry, I should have shown you. I had so much fun with AI making like vintage werewolf portraits. And then there's a picture of me marrying Tom Cruise with the creature from the Black Lagoon as our officiant. And I had a really good time with that one. It's like a pack of Skittles was murdered by a unicorn down there. I assume we're in the basement at this point. I struck wood with my magic hammer down there. Yes, Chris is the handiest guy on earth who was unscrewing my house at midnight last night, this morning, whatever you call that. That unicorn shits rainbows for a week. Yeah, I helped fix the wall. Yes, you did. I demand to see a ghost. The moldy wall. Yep, the moldiest wall. I wonder if Molly can show her the weird. We're gonna get to that. Oh, I don't know if I have a picture of the well though, but yes, I do have pictures of something that's interesting. Over her shoulder kind of looks like a demonic face. Terry, you're freaking me out. Oh yeah, scary. There's 2 of them. Get out of here, you dang ghost. Mr. H is a chicken shit. Molly's gonna beat the fuck out of this ghost. Is he hiding in the attic? I've never been in my own attic. That's where people I pay have to go. That's where the bats hide. You have 2 cubby doors you forgot to open. Yeah, there's a million cubbies. Like, we skipped over things. Mr. H probably hanging with the bats. All right. So that's what we got from the chat.
Well, all right. So my post-op on all of this would be my post-mortem is that whoever this is, I think he likes poking at you because he likes you feeling a little off balance. And whatever it was he was doing in life, it did give him a little bit of extra juju. And I don't think it counts for shit, honestly. I think he's your classic. And I don't want to go to war with this guy because I want him to be at peace. I'm not going to hate on him. But he has just enough power to be annoying. And I don't get the feeling he's going to start pushing you down the stairs, but I do feel like he's going to start pushing your patience pretty quick.
Okay.
Especially because we just called him out on a bunch of his shit. Okay. Nobody wants to be told that they're a second-rate magician after they're dead, because nobody gets more powerful after that. So unfortunately, I do think things in your house are going to continue. And I think that they will continue until you force them to stop in your way. If you do not have a practice, now is the time to cultivate one. This is your house. You are alive. You are making your will done. This guy probably lurked in the corners for however many years. He wants you to be scared of him. But the second that we started calling him out on his shit, and he wasn't expecting to see something he knew, that's when he took off. And I haven't felt anything since. So, and when we talked last time, I could feel it in my body. I could feel that he was there, and he was spooky.
Can I give you information now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Please hit me.
So, Lux, this is so crazy, but first, when I bought the house, the people that lived here, I was assuming were very religious because there were a lot of crosses everywhere, crosses up in the door frames. And I thought, oh, they have a lot of, good luck charms or a lot of protection here. They're very religious. But when we swapped and when they moved out, they left a lot of that here.
He was fucking with them too.
So that was what was weird, because I wondered, like, if that was all to protect them, that they felt like there was something in this house. And that's why they didn't need those crosses. Because, like, a cross is so personal to you. You would never just, like, let somebody else have it.
Plus, like, if you're so religious that you've got crosses everywhere, those people would have told you about that. You know what I mean? Like, people like that, they really want to tell you where they go to church and that you should too. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, they want to bring you into their fold.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of drama when I got the house. I had bought a house from a dead guy. I got fucked over for thousands of dollars. And I get to this house and there's this beautiful wishing well and a bird bath with little birds in it. And it was just the sweetest house. And honestly, Lux, this house is just so full of love. So I'm like hesitant to like cleanse the house because I don't want to take away all the good feeling that's in here.
And you don't have to. You don't
It's
have to.
over
You don't have to.
100
You
years
don't have to
old.
put that out. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing, and you love it.
Yeah,
You know, I
I
don't care
do.
what anybody else feels about it or ever did. It's
Yeah.
yours now, and you love it, and you're allowed to have that story about the house. And nobody's allowed to take that from you, living or dead. That is your power to draw that line.
Yeah, so I feel like I've made it mine, but I've really honored the house. Like I'm not
Yeah.
ripping up walls. One of the odd things is that everywhere that because the house was covered in wallpaper, every square inch, contact paper, linoleum, wallpaper. It was like, what's behind all of these surfaces? So as you do before you demolish, like I'm going to buy all the things that I know I'm going to do. And like with that blue bathroom, oh, we didn't even get to the other bathroom, but with the blue bathroom, it was just like full of really dusty, like curtains and really old wallpaper that was flocked. And so it was just very dusty, but it was also metallic. And the floor was like a fake wood floor that was so slippery. And I didn't, there's like a leap of faith when you start peeling shit where you're like,
Oh, yeah.
oh God, don't let me find a hole or don't let me find like problems. And every single room, I had decided I want this room to be this color. And then as I peeled the wallpaper, then the room used to be the color that I wanted it.
Wow.
That room, that blue bathroom was blue.
Wow.
My sewing room was that cornflower blue.
Wow.
My bedroom was a green. This room had brown behind it.
So you are in tune with the soul of this house. And I mean, if you believe in that kind of thing. And this is lovely because whatever it is that's poking at you, it's not the house. It's not your home. It's just somebody, it's kind of like a weird tenant you have to evict.
Okay, now I have a show and tell for you. There is a clear Masonic plaque in cement.
No way!
Yeah. So when you were talking about the Freemasons, I am only the third owner at this house. And the original owners, or the guy who owned it, he was a Freemason.
What the shit? The guy that built it?
The first owners.
What was his name?
I don't know yet, but not the round portrait of the wedding, but the lady in the wedding dress that you asked if she was young. She lived in this house. I found her in some like microfiche quest of the history of this house. I know that she lived here. I know that her name was Debbie. I know that she got married and moved in here or married and moved out of here, but she was actually, I think she moved in here when she got married. But so I don't know if she married the owner's son because it wasn't over 100 years old that this picture was taken. So there's a lot I don't know, but there's a super nice old couple down the street and they were friends with the former owner, the second owners that I bought it from. And she was talking to me about the house. And I said, could you hold on 1 second? And I ran and I got that wedding photo. And she just like was beaming because she knew her and said, that's Debbie. And I was like, Debbie? That's so weird. Because Lux, my mom is Debbie. But I bought the house from Dorothy, which is my mom's name is Dorothy. Was Dorothy. And so it's
okay, so there's some serious shit going on with you in this house. Like you are in, yeah. So this is it's your house. And Mr. H, I don't care if he built it. I don't care if he put his fucking whatever's underneath that plaque, who fucking knows. But like he definitely, I feel like he wasn't a very good person. And he was the worst kind of impotent man.
Because the lady that I talked to that told me that she was Debbie, her husband came up the street and I had already met the husband. He's a very old guy, but he's very handy. And so the owner of the house, because he knew that he was selling it to a woman, was like, oh, you've got to go talk to this guy. He will help you with whatever you need. And so I had already met him. So he comes up the street and she says, show him the picture. I show him the picture and he goes, oh, Debbie. And I said, what do you know about the house? Like, what's with the Masonic plaque? And he just kind of bristled, and he was very uncomfortable at that point, whereas before it was very conversational. And he said, well, I think he was a Mason, or so. I'm not really sure. I don't really know. Like, you were friends with him. You've been down in that basement, you know.
That's in the basement?
So the basement was sort of the weird room when I bought the house. Everything was kind of 80s and dated, but that room was very 60s, 70s with red shag carpet all the way to the ceiling.
Whoa.
With a big dry bar. It's got a bench that the chat calls my cuck bench. Like a weird bench in the basement with red shag covering it. And so I just thought, well, I don't know if I bought this house from like Satanists or swingers, but like something was going on here.
Yeah.
And so I really just wanted to change the vibe of the basement. And I put all my Victorian furniture down there. And with the red shag carpet, it started to get real like dark vampire. And I just didn't want that in the basement. I just wanted it to be a fun crash out, watch a Godzilla movie and eat a piece of pizza. Like, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And so I just decided to completely make an abomination out of it, of neon and monsters and silliness.
If by abomination you mean a delicious treat, but go on.
Well, it's a pretty fun room, and it's going to be just awesome when it's done. But yeah, I just wanted to change the vibe in there. Now, I did make some notes of some things that have happened since I've been in the house. And along with that Masonic plaque, I have a note to tell you that there's a very weird altar in the yard. It's about 6-7 feet long, about 3 feet wide. It's maybe about belly button high, and it's made out of stone because the old man down the street said, well, he was a Mason. He was a concrete man. And so it's falling apart a little bit. I don't want to knock it down, but also like, it's just so weird. It's got a big bowl in the center. And the person that I bought the house from called it a barbecue, but like, there's no way to dig the ashes out. If you had a whole like tabletop surface of craggy rocks, like, wouldn't you have it be smooth so you could put like your tray of hot dogs down? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And I don't feel that it's a barbecue. I don't know what the hell it was, but it like, if you had an altar that you were stabbing people in their stomach, the blood would drain into that bowl. And that's like what it looks like, to be honest with you. It's a very weird thing.
So this guy obviously is still there. And if you've had bad luck since we started talking about him, he needs to be dealt with. He thinks he's big hot shit because he knew fucking Masonic Ritual Magic 101. Well, great. They've published that in books now. It's like having a bad boss, a middle management colleague, not even a boss. He wants to be your boss, but he's not. He's just your colleague. You got to get this guy under control.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing that I noticed, I had just moved into the house and it was still winter of last year. I haven't been here a year yet, a year this month, but it was very cold and snow everywhere. And I was using a can of spray foam to like cover some hole. And I set it down. I turned the other direction to get something, and I turned, and the spray foam can was just freaking gone.
Yeah, and they hate change. In general, spirits hate change. I
looked for it. Like, things have gone missing that are like inexplicable. Things that you can't just hide. And like my keys. I keep finding them in weird places. That I would never leave them. I'm a very organized hoarder. Like I
He
don't leave my
doesn't
shit out.
he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it to be your house. And now that we've called him out on it, he's hiding out. He's not even there. I'm sure he's absolutely thrilled by the fact that you're like a beautiful woman that like brings people in to like look at her. He's like behind you all the time, like, oh yeah.
Right.
Like
as
that's
I'm
what I
like
felt.
cursing and peeling wallpaper in my pajamas. Sure. Just
But
nothing
no,
but
I'm
hot
serious
all the
though. He
time.
loves, well, nobody is. But you know, here's the thing. He wants the power that he always thought he had. It looks to me like whatever he was in life, it's over. Like his story is over. And he thinks that this is his chance. Like he's like, oh, cool, a woman lives in the house, and that's my chance to control her, just the way I controlled Debbie or whoever. Like he gets off on being in control, and you can't let him do it. And how you do that is completely up to you. You know, obviously, like spiritual and religious beliefs are something that's a little bit heavy duty to talk about on a, fun podcast on a Friday night. But this is you either need to take your own spiritual power into your hands or find someone that you trust who's there locally to come there and disperse it. I also like the Masons these days, if you were literally like, come get your boy, they might take his bones out of the backyard or something. Like we don't know where he is, literally. I don't feel like when we started this, I thought maybe there was a betrayal where like he was like, there's something I need the world to know. But all he kept telling are these bullshit stories like, I was a big deal and I was strong and I was, but like the way it comes across, like again, the cards won't let you lie. So they're just being like, yeah, he's the emperor in reverse. He's a dumb little guy in his head.
Yeah,
But
I feel like there must have been a lot of parties here because who has like a bar in their house unless you're entertaining a lot?
well,
And
and
a
that
built-in
may
vent.
not have been him. When was the house built?
The house was built in 1925.
So, we're looking at going into the Prohibition, we're looking at going into the Depression. The bar probably came in later, and him, I don't know how long he was there, and I don't know when those people came in after him, but it could be that same energy that for you has been disruptive, a little creepy, and is losing shit. It could have been more like a chaotic ego influence for them, where like maybe they push things farther than they would have, just because. And I mean, us looking back, because we love the retro horror, goth camp stuff, we look at red shade carpeting and we think, oh yeah, this was totally like 70s vampire orgies. But in the 70s that would have been very chic and cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of people had bars in their homes in the basement in that era.
And so that wasn't the people that I bought it from. So when we talk
So
about
it had
I'm
to
the
be him
third
then.
owner, I think
Yeah.
that this was a family home where people came and went, but it was still owned by the same family. Because the people I bought it from were here 27 years. So like for 100 years nearly, it was the same family.
But not the exact same people.
Right. So I don't know what iterations of Grandpa's house and then the grandson got it, or I don't know. Okay.
So regardless,
tell you,
I don't want you to be stuck with this guy disrupting stuff for you forever, especially because he might be influenced, because he does have a little bit more juju than your average ghoul. I don't want him to be setting you up for bad luck or lost keys or any other goddamn thing, or just feeling a little creeped out when you take a shower, and that would be
I don't really feel scared here. I would say maybe the scariest thing happened to me just a couple of weeks ago getting ready for the show. I was sitting here, there's nothing under my desk, the bunnies don't come upstairs at all. One of my bunnies had just died and the other bunny is like just staying in her room, and I'm sitting here, and on the back of my pant leg, I just felt tug, tug, tug. like on a cartoon when it would be like, hey, mister.
Yeah.
It was that cadence, and it was significant enough that there were 3 distinct tugs. But as I went to go look at my pant leg, like there was nothing under my chair, nothing under the desk. Like there's obviously nobody in my house. And so I think that one like maybe freaked me out the most because it was so with purpose. Like there's other things where like I'll hear a very soft knocking, or there's one window in that dining area where I just hear like one knuckle on a window, like, and it's too high up for anybody to knock on it from the yard.
You can't let him.
Yeah, I'm not like afraid of anything. but
it's not, here's the thing though, it's not about scaring you. If this was a real person, if you were like, I have a neighbor and he just does this thing where he knocks once with his knuckle, what would people tell you?
Well, I know what I would do is go beat his ass, but
so just because this guy's
I don't have a lot of friends, so that could be why.
You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
this, just because this guy is dead, he doesn't get to treat you like that. He doesn't get to pull on your pants. You wouldn't let a live man pull on your pants.
Well,
Like,
I don't know.
well, depending on the man, but okay, but certainly not like a rando.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I know. It's being stupid.
Like if you want to, this is not where I was expecting this to go at all. But if this guy was a Mason and he thought he was hot shit, and really he's just a guy that's been dead for a while and he wants to feel powerful because there's one person living in the house again that he feels like he can beat up on, like that also makes sense, all the crosses, because you know the cross is a big thing for like the iconography of, I mean, Crowley wasn't a Freemason, but like he was raised in that, and there's a cross on this too, you know. And I'm not a Christian by any means, but that's part of the iconography of that tradition. Anyway, point is, you gotta stop him, because he's obviously been fucking with the other family that lived here, and he's gonna keep fucking with you. And I don't want him setting you up to be the person that gets beat up on, betrayed, you know, or just kept up at night because somebody's knocking on your window with one ghostly fucking knuckle. Like, you deserve better than that.
That was kind of dumb. But when I was in the basement painting, so I have to wear reading glasses to see anything close up. Don't get old. Your eyes turn into little raisins. And so when you have the glasses on, it's not like you can see perfectly far because you've got these glasses on. And it was silent, but I saw a crow fly in the basement. And there was no crow in the basement. It was just like caught my eye. Now, could it have been like my bangs just moving? Like, I don't know. But like, then it would just be movement and I wouldn't equate it to a crow in my basement. That one was weird. The basement, I was doing a show actually about, I think it was the Masonic Murder Lodge show. I'm not sure, but it was right around that time. And you could hear the distinct sound of 2 glasses clinking together like a cheers. And I had some light fixtures that were down to be swapped. And there were a couple in a corner. And I just put it off and was just like, oh, something must have fallen against another one. But after the show, I went and looked, and they were like a clear 1.5 inches apart. There was no way that they could have clinked. And then another time I was doing a show and there was just
Where is he buried? Hold on. Where is he buried?
I have no idea. I don't know who he was.
Find out.
Yeah, I reached out to the Historical Society and they never got back to me. So I don't know shit. The chat says, and we all heard it too. Yes. And then there was another time where I just heard like this magnificent boom coming from the kitchen, but I didn't see anything. But then after the show, I went to investigate. And you know how you have shelves that have the pegs, like the adjustable shelves? Well, mine are wood and they're very sturdy. They're like real wood. And I've painted them so those holes are like really tight to put those pegs in. And when I opened the cabinet, all my spices came flying out. The entire shelf was gone. And like, how do all those pegs release themselves? It was totally weird.
He's just going to keep doing this stupid shit until you stop him.
And like, I don't know if you saw it, but as we went from one of the levels to another, I've got like a whole staircase of a bunch of like UFO paintings, like just silly, like just, stupid. And like one at a time, they were just jumping off of the screws and just going ass over tea kettle down the stairs.
So yeah, you've got a classic poltergeist, and like, I mean, I can tell you what I would do, but really you carry plenty of power to deal with this, but you have to flex it. You're going to have to be very strict with him and tell him if he wants to go do this, go out to his fucking altar in the backyard and throw whatever kind of fit he wants, but he cannot be in here all the time fucking with you. And you see how we started talking about him tonight, and he took the fuck off. Like he was with, it is my opinion that he was with us when we started. He was peeking out over your shoulder. He could see what was going on. He was listening to what we said. And then the second that I started reading and I was like, you're a little man, he was gone from that house. And now I understand he was probably hiding out by that altar because those spirits can't go very far.
Yeah, it's an odd place. Like, it's like this house is so full of love and happiness. That's a really odd area of the yard.
I can see by your expression you don't find that that's full of love and happiness.
No, it honestly looks like a bowl where you would dive a knife through somebody's stomach and it would catch the juices.
Well, and there are ways that you could bind him there if you wanted, but then it would be like, then he's bound there. I mean, the best thing would be for him to move on, but obviously he's not interested in doing that for whatever reason. The fact that the first card we got was this judgment inverted, like someone falling out of their grave. My guess would be that he sees you as disturbing his grave, or whoever lives there is disturbing his rightful spot. And, I mean, I would recommend getting a hold of Stephen Ballou and Alexi and Sarah from the Night Owl. They're the Night Owl podcast out of Austin. They're powerful. They're great. They'd probably give you some really good tips, like specific stuff based on their traditions. I'm much more eclectic and chaotic, so I hesitate to give you like an actual thing to do. Mm-hmm. But I know I've said this like 10 times, but you need to decide where your spiritual power lies. And I don't mean spiritual like, God. I mean like where where you feel that your spirit resonates the most strongly. And you need to call on that powerful version of yourself, and you need to push them out and keep them out.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I feel like scared of it, Lux, but like when it first started happening and shit was literally coming off the walls, and
it's inappropriate.
The one portrait of the wedding, that's a heavy portrait. So I put it on a real heavy screw into the stud, and it fell off the wall. So I don't know who those people are, but let's just say I have walked around this house with my gun out a couple of times, just making sure that there weren't any motherfuckers in my house.
Right. And that's how it feels. And like, that's the thing, is that you deserve better than that. And I mean, I've done the same thing. Like when I lived in a haunted house in Virginia, like I went up one night, I was so sure that I grabbed a machete. I had just moved back to the States and I forgot that there was like the police. I just hadn't lived in a country for a long time that had them. So I kind of forgot. And so I just grabbed my machete and I went upstairs and I was like, there's somebody in this fucking house and I'm going to find him. Because I heard him walking around, There was nobody. I mean, I went through every closet. I was ready. I was ready to make some shit happen. There was nobody in that house. And nobody needs to live like that. You don't need to be walking around with your piece in your house looking for
guns in every fucking room in this house.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, if it was a living neighbor, everybody would be like, this is fucking bullshit and it has to stop. Like, I don't want him throwing you psychically into whatever you've been through in the last week. I don't want him bothering you when you're trying to sleep. I don't want him skewing your luck into bad luck. I don't want him skewing your rooms into haunted rooms and not haunted rooms.
Mhm.
Oh, look at that. Same fucking card. This guy thinks he's hot shit. He's not. You have to stop him. If he wants to watch the world, he can watch it for any place he wants, but he does not belong inside your house.
Yeah, maybe one of the scarier things, just because I'm a firefighter, I woke up in the middle of the night to pee, which takes 2 minutes, and I go back in my room to lay down, and there's the distinct smell of a match that has been blown out.
Mm-hmm.
It was that match
Mm-hmm.
smell.
Mm-hmm.
And so people say, oh, well, was it sulfur? Like, it wasn't sulfur. It was that match smell.
Yeah.
Phosphorus, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm a little bit superstitious about electricity because I watch good people lose everything from one stupid wire in a wall. And so I was on a quest the rest of the night to find a hot outlet or something plugged in wrong. And there was no explanation for that, but just that when I woke up, there was no smell at all. I leave for 2 minutes and I come back and boom, it was there. I didn't turn on any lights to do this maneuver. I'm so used to walking around. So that one was weird. And then sometimes when I'm in the basement, I do spend a lot of time in there because it's probably taken me the most amount of time to get this fucking room done. I'll hear a boom and I run upstairs like, what the hell just fell? Like, what are the bunnies doing? And like, I'll come upstairs and they're just sleeping. No, nothing's moved. Who knows where the boom comes from?
You deserve, listen to me. You don't, even telling the stories and everybody like is like, oh my God, crazy. No.
I mean, I think it's kind of interesting. Although
now, I mean, now if you want
me out,
yeah, like if you enjoy having the like entertainment of having somebody around, I get that too. But like
not if it's disruptive though. Like I don't like. I never want to. Feel
I don't like
that.
That. Yeah, and I don't like that. I was getting that betrayal card, and then you had that rough week. I don't like that.
And it was a weird week. Like I just had bees swarm my front and back door. Like I couldn't get out. And
remember what I was telling you, that usually when you intend to make contact with an energy like this, that it oftentimes will escalate because you're giving it attention. You don't deserve to have bees. You know what I mean? Like
everywhere.
This is like crazy. No, and it's cheap tricks. You know, it's all. This is all like fucking haunting 101 shit. Like, let's not get to 102. I don't,
Well, it's not even negative though, because like that was kind of enjoyable because I got to have this really great conversation with this lady who owns an apiary, like a beehive place. And I bought honey from her before. She's local. Okay. And then I had a pipe burst last night, which was so weird because I never go to that little corner. And for whatever reason, I was trying to like shove shit into the laundry room area. And there's a whole like storage room in there. And like nothing touched this pipe, but it just decided to blow. And like everything was flooded. And I called my friend Chris, who might still be in the chat. And he came right over and we totally jerry-rigged it. And it was just like, instead of being a bad thing, it actually made me feel really good because like I have such a great friend that's willing to bail my ass out in the middle of the night.
All right, let's look at this from a different point of view then. Why don't you give him a place to stay? It's pretty easy to go online and see what a Masonic temple looks like. There's like a black pillar and a white pillar and blah, blah, blah. Go back to that altar and give him his place and say, this is your spot. Here's your Masonic temple. Here's your lodge. Get out of my house.
It's right at, the plaque is right at that altar.
Yep. So, I mean, my guess is that might even if not literally, that could spiritually be like his resting place. Like that's where he energetically sees his grave.
You know, it is, I mean, it's like 7 feet by 3 feet. Like if it was a crypt, like that makes more sense than a fucking barbecue. Like it just, I wish I had a picture of it, but I don't.
And again, the spirits see things differently than us. Even if his literal bones aren't there, he might see that as his grave. So I would say if you don't like the idea of literally just like giving him the astral boot,
Mhm.
then give him a place to be. Give him his own little temple. Look up some stuff online and give him like the equivalent of a dollhouse. The spirits are not size. They don't have corporeal form, so they're not sized the way we're sized. So something small will be sufficient. Get him some little pillar. Get him the white pillar. Get him the black pillar. Give him his little thing, his little setup, and then invite him in and be like, "You can't be in my space. Here's your space. You can be there." And make that very clear. And then if he come and make it clear, you can talk to him out loud and be like, "Now, if you come back to the house, we're going to have to take serious measures, But in the meantime, I'm not saying you have to leave. I'm just saying you belong out here, so let's keep you out here,
Mhm.
And if you put those good boundaries down, that might be enough. I would say in that case, if you do want to do like a light exorcism or like energy cleansing, I would definitely use the different scents that he would recognize as being cleansing as well, like frankincense. Yep. And then, if you wanted to call on, again, your ancestors to protect you, anybody that has crossed over to the other side that you see as a spiritual strength, ask them to help you to maintain your boundaries. We can also talk, and this is a whole separate conversation, but if you want to talk about making like a Florida water that you can like sprinkle on your floors before you vacuum, or something some kind of oil that you can bless before you do all your woodwork, something like that.
Mhm.
All of that stuff is going to be powerful for him because he believes in it even more than maybe you do. He, as a Mason, there's a lot of stuff that there are a lot of rituals. So if you have a knife and you can make it your ritual dagger, you can literally cut in front of all of your doors and, be like, "I cut this off from you," banish him out. Because you don't want to keep it's one thing to have like the scent of a match or one blown pipe when your friend is around, but you don't want to have him keep poking at you. Not because you can't take it, but because you shouldn't have to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have that warm, like awesome feeling all the time in here.
Yeah.
But lights will turn on, like just, nonsense. Now, Terry Ryan on YouTube says, stop by a nearby lodge and ask. But I just feel like the Freemasons are so secretive. I don't know that they would tell me.
If you were literally like, "Hey, I live in this house, come get your boy," they might be like, "Oh, okay." Like they might have another part to the story, and even if you don't know it, it could still address it. But the Masons aren't as secretive as they used to be. So like, there's no reason you couldn't ask. It's not like the worst thing that would happen is that just they didn't answer you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you want to keep that guy around and you think it's kind of cool that he's there, and you want like a little haunted altar in the backyard, go for it. Just give him a little place to be.
Yeah, that's a good place because I'm not barbecuing in that fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, and here's something else too. One thing I learned is that sometimes when there's a spirit, and I don't know it would work in this case because he thinks he belongs there, but I guess just as a general bit of knowledge to throw out there to our friends, is that if you have a spirit that you just think kind of like drifted in and now it's stuck there, a lot of the times if you just offer it food and show it the door, it will take the spiritual sustenance that it was looking for all along and then be on its way. So, stand in the front door, be like, "Hey, here's something to keep going. Now, keep going." That works more often than you would think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just thinking of the kind of food I eat is not something anyone would be excited about.
It doesn't
kind of
matter.
a top ramen sort of girl.
No, it doesn't matter.
Burritos.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Old
matter. This
candy
again,
from like,
you got to remember, you're not dealing with humans with bodies. So,
okay.
what would be for you like dinner to the spirits is something you have to make them a separate burrito. You can literally give them the tiniest piece, and the energy is what you're working with. So, scale and specific, palettes really, really doesn't matter.
Okay. I kind of just want a frozen burrito in the bowl, and the altar in the yard would be funny as hell.
Oh my gosh, do it.
Chris was
And be
over
like,
last
hey, look,
night, and
yeah.
he lost something in my house, and we came in and we looked for it, and now I'm surprised that he says that he thinks that the Mr. H took it, which is weird because I figured it was in his tool bag after he left. And then Pammy says to ask about my witch relative. So I am the 9th great-granddaughter of Rebecca Nurse, who was killed during the Salem witch trials. She was the oldest victim of the Salem witch trials. And there's a lot of us. I'm not special. She had 8 kids. There's a million of us.
May I? What if you are special? What if you are?
That would be very weird.
What if, and let's just for funsies, let's just do a little thought experiment. What if?
Lux, I literally have people pay me to go away from them in Las Vegas while they're gambling.
Oh, that's a special that's a special treat right there. That's good. But I would encourage you, based on the conversations we've had, which are few, to start experimenting with how it feels to say, I am special and chosen. And if that feels weird or difficult to say, or you find it would be something that would be difficult for you to say to yourself in the mirror, I would like you to think about why. Because if you do have this ancestress, first of all, you can always ask her for help.
Yeah, I don't know that I feel connected to her. Like I was most connected with my grandma, which is actually through marriage, so she's not a direct to Rebecca Nurse.
That's okay.
But like I know my grandma's not with me, but she was like my favorite person on this planet. And I guess maybe that's kind of why I don't know that I believe in like ghosts or whatever, because I love my grandma so much that I feel like she would be here with me, and she's got better things to do. She's very popular wherever she's at.
Well, again, it's not the same after you die, because spirit isn't, we see this as us, but it's really not true. That's an illusion. And there's something, the most important part of ourselves, just like the things that we love the most about people, it's not how they look. It's not like, oh, I really love my grandma's body. Like, no, that sounds weird. It's who they are that we love. Mm-hmm. And when we lose someone we love, we don't know. We don't know what happens after death. I would never say that I knew, or that I understand where your grandma is. But there's no harm and only possibly some good that could come of you telling yourself that your grandmother is with you, even if you don't understand how.
Yeah, one of the things that kept happening, like, it was chaos before I moved to this place, but everything got put in boxes or bags or whatever, and everything got completely taken out before I moved to the next box or bag. And there was like a week where I just kept finding machine sewing needles everywhere. And my grandma, that's why I have a sewing room with the quilts that she made on the wall. And that's her sewing machine that she's had since the dawn of time. But like, you would never leave a sewing needle like throw a sewing needle in a box. Like everything has its place. I know I own a lot of shit, but everything has its place. So to find random sewing needles in the carpet 4 stories down was just like, what the hell's going on? Like I nearly like stepped on one a couple of times.
Well, and there's something else that I'm thinking about too with that first card that I kept drawing for you, betrayal. I mean, if ever there was a card for what's your name? Sarah Nurse?
Who? Rebecca Nurse.
Rebecca Nurse? If ever there was a card for Rebecca Nurse, it would be that.
Truly, yeah.
And, the Masons really are a pretty good representation of the patriarchy. And even though I don't necessarily think that like your random Masonic lodge is like out there like oppressing anyone in the year 2026, I can see where that kind of energy would have been diametrically opposed to a woman of power in the 1600s. So I think you've got a lot of things going on here, and I think you have a lot of power that you can call on if you choose to. And if you, again, you can ask other people to step in on your behalf, the living. But I also think that if you call on your beloved grandmother and you call on Rebecca Nurse and you call on the power that is within yourself, I do think that you can manage this on your own.
I did reach out to somebody that's local and they do in-person stuff. So I thought about maybe having them over.
Mm-hmm.
But I've actually had, like, you're the only one who's shown up, Lux. It's so weird. I've met so many great people. And then it comes to like show day and they're just like nowhere to be found. So.
Well, again, that might be him too. Miscellaneous little bullshit problems. And the only reason that I'm actually saying that you can probably deal with this yourself is that all it took is us looking him in the eye, so to speak, one time and being like, mm-mm. And he took the fuck off. He was out. He's been out. He's still out.
The girls on YouTube say that they like you. Rose Sisselart says she sounds very compassionate and caring. Terry Ryan says she's great. I'm liking her a lot too.
Yay! I like you guys too.
And then Pammy says, how about asking about your grandpa chair behind you? Is there still a connection to him there? And so, oh, hi, Nora. So the chair, the striped chair is the second iteration of the chair. It used to be a black leather chair, and it was my grandpa's. He is the direct descendant of Rebecca Nurse. So he would be the 7th great-grandson of Rebecca Nurse. Orrin Foster was his name. And this was his chair. And so it was in a weird place in the living room growing up. And so that became like my chair that I would sit in all the time when I would watch TV. And I just love the chair. I mean, of course, I sat with my legs up, like watching TV upside down. But I loved the chair so much that my mom, his daughter, gave it to me. And I know that I just want to have it forever because it just is like, just love it.
So this is your, then that can be your position of power. Go to the chair, get comfortable, legs up, legs down, whatever. Give yourself a short amount of time, 3 minutes. Set an alarm on your phone if you're afraid you don't want to spend too much time, Give yourself 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
And just think about your loved ones. Think about even the ones you've never met, the ones you've only heard about, your grandfather, your grandmother by marriage, whatever. All of the people you know on the other side. And ask them to help you open up to your own power to manage this. And I think you've got it.
I'm going to try all of that. It sounds fun. And I'm always down for an adventure. Lux, I just love you. Thank you so much for being so generous with your time. This is like this is the longest show I've ever done. So you guys are all champions in the chat.
I will you know how to get a hold of me.
Yep.
Please keep in touch. If
Okay.
you need more cheerleading, you know, I'll get my rah, 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 rah. And we will work on this. I don't want you to think that this is like a one-off. And I do encourage you, like those of us who have had challenges in our past, we have this mantra, like, I can take it. Like, I'm not scared, I can take it. But that doesn't mean you have to. And just the same way that if you, to go all the way back to the beginning of our conversation when you were like, if I had an asshole boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. This guy is like the asshole ex who's like sleeping on your couch.
Oh,
like,
how rude.
Can you put up with him? Yeah. Should you put up with him? Not if he's sending you bees. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, that doesn't mean you can't turn it into a positive thing, but like, I don't want you to just take it just because this fucking rando disembodied dude wants to like poke at you. Like, he doesn't get to, you know? So if it's entertaining, great. When you're ready to kick him to the curb and send him out to his altar and back, make him a sandwich and send him on his way. That's all. That's what I want to leave you with, because you deserve to have a peaceful, happy, calm home where your photos stay on the walls and your pants aren't being pulled at, you know?
All week I've been working from like 7 a.m. to like 10 p.m. So it's been a crazy week. And so I just wanted to be able to clean. I've got a house guest this weekend. And I came home yesterday. I had like a 45-minute break before I had to go back for training. And I don't know how it happened, but some like green vial of food coloring was freaking everywhere. Like this drawer just exploded. Everything had to come out. Everything had to get washed. And it's like the whole kitchen's white.
It's never going to
week.
stop. It's never going to stop.
Yeah.
It's always going to be that kind of fucking bullshit. And you deserve better.
Yeah. All right.
So
Mr. H is evicted.
Mr. H has to go.
I think we're going to call him Horace because that was the first name that you said, or Harold. And we'll have to bring you back for an update on how Mr. H is going. Thank you so much. This was just welcome. Like, it was really fun. It was entertaining. It was scary. Like, it was a roller coaster, just like the house was a roller coaster.
Yeah. And if there's anybody else like that, you know, again, I'm no expert and I'm not a professional, but if there's anybody that's listening that's like feels like there's something that I can do for them, you can put them in touch with me and I'd be happy to help them in whatever way I can.
Yeah. Where do you want them to find you? On Facebook?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't even care. I'll give out my email. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, well, give out whatever you want.
Okay. Yeah. I'll tell you what. If anybody just messages you, then I'll text you my email and you can give it on to them or send it on to them.
Okay. Super awesome. Thank you so much. I apprate it.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you took the leap of faith.
Sure. Yeah. This is like the least stupid random decision I've ever made. So
random decisions lead to fun things sometimes.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, so I'll be back Friday, guys. Next Friday, I'm not going to be here. I am hosting a detective workshop. So Randy is going to be taking over the helm. I'm terrified. Be nice to him. I'm not sure what he has planned. I made a thumbnail for him. It's funny as hell. And so be nice to Randy, guys, and I will see you the week after. And thank you again to Lux. You are super awesome. Appreciate it.
You're awesome. You guys are all awesome. Have a great night.
Have a great night.